like a small boat on the ocean.
About a year after turning pro, the evolution of the expressive Yuzuru Hanyu does not stop. "I thought I only did figure skating." He said this in an exclusive interview with this magazine, choosing his words. AERA from August 14-21, 2023. Filming begins. Yuzuru Hanyu wears the clothes prepared for this day and demonstrates various postures, facial expressions and gestures in accordance with the clothes. Each of them is exquisitely paired with clothes and a set full of red roses, and people watching the shooting are amazed more than once. "Lately, I've been objectively looking at how I look when I wear clothes and trying to think about how I want the clothes to look. No, but I move with the image, listening to the voice of the clothes. About 6 months ago it was not a program, but I felt like I was moving on my own, feeling the atmosphere of the studio. I think everything changed after I thought, clothes have so many intentions. I think it means you've got a new way of expressing yourself even in a single shooting situation." "I agree," Hanyu nods. "It's not like I was told to pose or play. That's why Yuzuru Hanyu is an outstanding performer, capturing the taste of clothes and objectively looking at himself standing in the scenery, highlighting the clothes and scenery and acting out." When the ban on the cover image was lifted, the response was even greater than expected, and Asahi Shimbun Publishing decided to reprint it before release, which was unusual for a weekly magazine. A follow-up report was also released. Hanyu announced his wedding at 11:11 p.m. that day, and the attention for the latest episode increased even more. Sales promotion activities were accelerated, such as the distribution of AERA cover posters in bookstores and the distribution of the bookstore name, with an X. Meanwhile, on the evening of August 9, AERA.dot. "Even if you get married as a person, Hanyu Yuzuru is an eternal project? Applying for registration is hard." Column titled, "This article is part of Minori Kitahara's I'm Grateful for Women's Stories series." Mr. Kitahara's X, citing a published article. "I'm a little confused. Interestingly, women are surprisingly bad at Hanyu Yuzuru." Explains. It appears that many of Mr. Hanyu's fans were unhappy with this article, and criticism of the column was also received in the writing of X, which presents an interview with Mr. Hanyu published in AERA magazine. Most of them are in Japanese, but some are in English. "I was disappointed AERA article slanders Mr. Chania. Why did you allow such an article to be published? I got such a vote." AERA is an icon that unifies the contents of the Asahi Shimbun Publishing. AERA explains that AERA and AERA.dot are different things. In a post by AERA X posted at 2300 hours on August 9th. "We have received your opinion on the column about Yuzuru Hanyu published in AERA.dot. After that, this article is not from the editors of AERA, but from the point of AERA. In personnel matters announced by Asahi Shimbun Publishing, AERA.dot editor-in-chief and editor-in-chief AERA are separated, and editorial rights are considered independent. However, the relationship between AERA and AERA.dot is close. Point AERA opened in October 2012 as a point at this time. Articles that summarize various topics in an easy-to-understand manner published in the weekly magazine's Weekly Asahi and AERA, published by Asahi Shimbun Publishing. Described as main content, it was renamed and updated to the current AERA point in May 2017. A new site with the concept of gathering the leading figures of the era with AERA, which means age in Latin, as an icon to unify Asahi Shimbun Publishing content. The main target audience is working men and women aged 30 to 40. It is strong in education and medicine and has a high proportion of women. In addition to articles from magazines such as AERA, she also publishes original columns and online news.